dangerously surprise him. Yet he felt shivers through all his flesh, remembering his vague dreams of the disaster. He hoped and prayed that his newfound friend would confirm the things he'd seen. He hoped and prayed that the blood drinker would be truly old, not young and tender and bungling. He prayed that this blood drinker would have the gift of words, for he wanted to hear words more than anything. He himself could seldom find the right words, and now, more than anything, he wanted to listen. He was almost to the bottom of the steep street, the snow coming down lightly around him, when he saw the sign of the tavern. The werewolf. It made him laugh. So these blood drinkers play their reckless games, he mused. In his time it had been wholly different. Who of his own people had not believed that a man could change into a wolf? Who of his own people would not have done anything to prevent this very evil from coming upon him? But here it was, a plaything, the concept, with this painted sign swinging on its hinges in the cold wind, and the barred windows brightly lighted beneath it. He pulled the handle of the heavy door, and at once found himself in a crowded room, warm and full of the smell of wine and beer and human blood. The warmth alone was overwhelming. In truth, he had never felt anything quite like it. The warmth was everywhere. It was even and wondrous, and it crossed his mind that not a single mortal here realized how truly marvelous this warmth was. For in olden times such warmth had been impossible, and bitter winter had been the common curse of all. There was no time, however, for such thinking. He reminded himself, do not be surprised. But the inundating chatter of mortals paralyzed him. The blood around him paralyzed him. For one moment his thirst was crippling. In this noisy, indifferent crowd he felt he would run rampant, taking hold of this one and that one, only to be discovered, the monster among the throng who would then be hounded to destruction. He found a place against the wall, and leant against it, his eyes closed. He remembered those of his clan running up the mountain, searching for the red-haired witch whom they would never find. Thorn alone had seen her. Thorn had seen her take the eyes from the dead warrior and put them into her own sockets. Thorn had seen her return through the light snow to the cave where she lifted her distaff. Thorn had seen her winding the golden red thread on the spindle. And the clan had wanted to destroy her, and, wielding his axe, he had been among them. How foolish it all seemed now, because she had wanted Thorn to see her. She had come north for a warrior such as Thorn. She had chosen Thorn, and she had loved his youth and his strength and his pure courage. He opened his eyes. The mortals in this place took no notice of him, even though his clothes were badly worn. How long could he go unseen? He had no coins in his pocket to purchase a place at a table or a cup of wine. But the voice of the blood drinker came again, coaxing him, reassuring him. You must ignore the crowd. They know nothing of us or why we keep this place. They are pawns. Come to the rear door. Push it with all your strength, and it will give for you. It seemed impossible that he could cross this room, that these mortals wouldn't know him for what he was, but he must overcome this fear. He must reach the blood drinker who was summoning him. Bowing his head, bringing his collar up over his mouth, he pushed through the soft bodies, trying not to meet the gaze of those who glanced at him. And when he saw the door without a handle, at once he pushed it as he'd been told to do. It gave upon a large, dimly lighted chamber with thick candles set upon each of its scattered wooden tables. The warmth was as solid and good as that of the outer room. And the blood drinker was alone. He was a tall, fair creature whose yellow hair was almost white. He had hard, blue eyes, and a delicate face covered with a thin layer of blood and ash, to make him look more human to the mortal eye. He wore a bright red cloak with a hood, thrown back from his head, and his hair was finely combed, and long. He looked most handsome to Thorn, and well-mannered, and rather like a creature of books than a man of the sword. He had large hands, but they were...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.